Welcome to the Singer's Toolkit, the podcast where host Antonio DeLillis shares his expertise and knowledge on all things singing. Join us as we explore the world of singing, from the science behind the voice to the artistry of performance. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this podcast is the perfect resource for improving your vocal skills and taking your singing to the next level.
Hello everybody, welcome back to this Aural tutorial, part 2. So on the previous one, and if you have not seen it, go and have a look. We explored the foundation of beats and time. We are going to come back to it on our practical part 3, where I'll show you all the exercises, other exercises you can practice, which will kind of embed everything we discussed so far. But on this part 2, we are going to focus on pitching and how to get better with pitching. Once again, pitching is the ability to sing the right notes. Okay? Got it? So, the first thing that you want to do would be to see if you can, like I said for the timing, if you can hear things before you practice stuff. So just listen to things. Listen to your favorite songs. Listen to anything. Do not jump into singing straight away. So, I want to focus on simple stuff, such as, can you hear these two notes? 1 and 2. Yeah? Again, listen. And number 2. The question for you would be, which is the highest note? Number 1 or number 2? At this point, just listen. Let me make it more obvious. Sorry, this one. That's the one. So this is number 1. Number 2 is coming. Which is the highest? And the answer is number 1, this one. And number 2, this one, is the lowest. Let's try another combination. Number 1 and number 2. Once again, listen. Number 1 and number 2. Which is the highest? Number 1 or number 2? And the answer is number 2. Not this one, but that one. Okay? How about if I sing 2 notes and this is your number 1, la, and this is your number 2, la. Number 1, la. Number 2, la. Which one is the highest? 1 or 2? And the answer is 1. Correct. Okay? Let's try something less obvious, which means that the distance now between our 2 notes is going to be smaller. So, this is your first note, and this is your second note. Again, that was your number 1, and this is your number 2 coming. Let me now ask you, which of those 2 notes is the lowest? Number 1 or 2? And the answer is the lowest is number 2. So not this one. That was number 1. Number 2, this one. Okay? And you can practice these exercises. Just, you don't need to be, a piano player, and we don't need the ability to sing or play something with, difficult. No. Just play 2 notes, and you can record those, and later you can guess. The next exercise is the following. Play 1 note with your voice, and try to pitch match it with your keyboard. And if at this point you're thinking of saying to me, well, I got no keyboard, type on Google virtual keyboard and you will find free websites. Same for like for the metronome, and like for the metronome these days there are apps. Just try to find musical keyboard, but if you have an old one, a small one with just 2 octaves, that would do. So sing 1 note random. I'm speaking there, so I'm singing that note, and then play 1 note. Stick there with your voice and try to see if you can find out which is the right note on your key. So I'm singing along. Can you hear that this is the note that I was using? Yeah. So can you hear when I'm right? Let's try another one a little lower. Here, there.
Octave -1.
Oops. Can you hear that that's the right note? How about this one? Can you hear that this was the right one? And then you can slowly understand your range, like, oh, that was a B. And then you can do the opposite. So you can now try to play something around those notes. So I was singing that one, then that one. So around between those 2 notes, pick one, play it on your keyboard, and see if you can pitch match it with your voice this time. So the contrary. So la. Can you hear that when I'm tuning my note perfectly, there are no clashes, and your ears are telling you, oh, that's okay, now we are in peace. Try again. Let me try to start with a super high note. I'm playing the same note, but I'm starting up there. I think I need to go lower. I'm still too high. Wow, can you hear that? Could you hear all those notes clashing? So, see if you can do that. Now, if you can use a software with an instrument that can hold a note. So, a normal pianist, if you can hear this thing now. Let's see. This could be something. Okay, let me see if I can do this.
Toggle channels. Speech muted.
Okay. Now, probably you will be able to hear this piano, and it's going to be a little far. But anyway, the point is, can you hear we call it the decay of a note. So if I play this note here, and it's getting softer, 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 and it disappears, okay? I'm still holding the key, but the sound is no more, okay? So if you could avoid those, and if you could use instead, let me move here from you. If you could use a sound, we call it software or virtual instrument that can hold a note. So I'm pressing a key, and until I release my finger, that note is still there. Can you hear? There's no decay. Because if you are a beginner and if you are struggling with singing in tune, it's because you won't be able to hear that note unless that note is being held in time. This is something that we can do as singers. We can hold a note, la, and it stays at the same volume, at the same level, until we decide to stop. La, and then I want to stop, and I can do that. So, if you're struggling with singing in tune, using a guitar or a piano, it will be difficult. Finding a note, an instrument that can hold a note, such as a synthesizer or a flute or an organ, and there are many, many more, that is more helpful. Okay? And that's basically the end of this tutorial. But let's try, before we go, a few more. So now let me try something around here. Let's do this together. I'm playing the same note. By the way, this note is G. Okay? And then start. Try to pitch match that one. Ready? And I'll go. Da 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 da. I think I got it. Have you got it? I'll hold it for a little longer and then I'll let you go. And 3, 2, 1, stop. Okay? This is how you do it, guys. And listen. Listen to what you do. Listen to the note first, and you will get there. All right? The next thing would be not to do one note at a time, but a short melodies. A short melody. So we could do... Oh, that's too low. Come on.
Octave 0.
So those two notes. And I'll tell you that the first one is the highest. And it goes da. One more time, da. A little faster, da 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 da. Let's try 3 notes now. Da. On your own. And let me try the higher octave for the female voices. Again. On your own. One more. And now you don't need to be a keyboard player. Just place one finger on your keyboard and then decide, let me go to the right, so higher. Maybe 3 notes. And then try to pitch match that one. And how about us, guys? Da 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 da. more time. Da 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 da. And have fun with these kind of things. Again, you don't need to be a piano player, guys. So keep practicing, keep practicing, keep practicing. You will get there. And that's all for now. More practical exercises soon. So stay tuned and keep singing, guys. Bye now.
Thanks for joining us on our podcast. We hope you found our content insightful and thought-provoking. Before we go, we'd like to thank all our listeners for their invaluable support. If you enjoyed our podcast and want to contribute to its growth, please consider making a donation via PayPal to delilisantonio@gmail.com. That's D for Delta, E for Echo, L for Lima, I for India, L for Lima, L for Lima, I for India, S for Sierra, A for Alpha, N for November, T for Tango, O for Oscar, N for November, I for India, O for Oscar @gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening.